Hello YouTube fanatics, welcome to the Denver English Bloggers YouTube video on sentence structure!
Yay!
Please hold your applause. No really, there's going to be a lot of excitement packed into this video, so I want you to all pace yourselves. Now let's get started. It's important for everyone to know that all sentences have two basic parts, a subject and a predicate. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's that, Mr. Sock Puppet Man and Mrs. Sock Puppet Man? Well, let me tell you. The subject is the thing the sentence is about, and the predicate states something about the sentence. Holy cow! That's awesome! Yeah, I know, it's pretty darn cool. But I need you all to hold your applause again because it's only going to get better. Yay! Let's explore subjects and predicates in more detail. There are many different types of subjects and they're all totally awesome. There's simple subjects, which are a noun or a pronoun, complete subjects, which is a simple subject plus any modifying words or phrases, and compound subjects, two or more subjects joined by a conjunction. Let me duck out real quick and you can listen to Mrs. Sock Puppet.
I can't believe how much fun this is. Can you? Look how much we're learning. Now, if that wasn't cool enough, we still have to talk about predicates. Predicates also come in many forms. There are simple predicates, the main verb and the helping verb of a sentence, complete predicates, a simple predicate together with any object or modifiers, and compound predicates, which are complete predicates containing two or more simple predicates. Woo! That's exciting.
Holy moly!
But could it possibly be as exciting as verb types and sentence patterns? I think not. So, why not talk about it? Follow closely, everyone. This is important stuff. There are three types of verbs. I know, right? There are intransitive verbs, linking verbs, intransitive verbs. What are those, you ask? Well, fear not. I'm here to explain. Intransitive verbs are verbs that require no object can stand alone as the only element in the predicate. An example would be a volcano erupted. In this sentence, erupted is the intransitive verb. Linking verbs are verbs connect the subject to its complement. An example of this awesome type of verb would be the Oscar is a coveted award. The linking verb is the magnificent sentence is. Finally, we have transitive verbs. These delightful little beacons of sunshine come in two flavors, active and passive. Active transitive verbs are verbs that require a direct object. An example would be, under the sea volcano created a new island. The verb here is created. How cool. The passive transitive verb is much different though. This little golden nugget of happiness is nifty in that it reverses the role of the subject. Wow! An example would be, a new island was created by the undersea volcano. A passive transitive verb here is, was created.
I'm back! Now let's talk about phrases. Woohoo!
Yeah!
What's a phrase, you may ask? A phrase is a group of related words that lack a subject, a predicate, or even both. Now there are 6 types of phrases in sentence structure. A lot, right? I think so too. The first type of phrase is a noun phrase. These types of phrases consist of a noun together with modifiers. They can function as subjects, objects, and complements within sentences. What would an example be, you might ask? Well, here is a noun phrase with a subject. Emma's mouth-watering pizza was taken out of a blazing hot oven. Now that I've made you hungry, let's move on to verb phrases. These types of phrases consist of a main verb and all its helping verbs. An example is provided as so. By election day, the candidates will have been campaigning for almost 2 years, making the will have been campaigning verb phrase. What? What about the prepositional phrases, you ask? These phrases are a preposition followed by the object of the preposition. Here's another exciting example. I will arrive to your house in an hour. Whoa! Now I'm going to let Mrs. Sock Puppy Girl tell you about verbal phrases. Those are so cool.
Now, verbal phrases. Gets more exciting by the minute, right? These consist of verbal and any modifiers, objects, or complements. Yay. Hold on. We have 2 more to go. Principal phases are the present principle or the past principle of a verb that acts as an adjective. Very excited. She asks, when did you start dating Jim? Making the excited the past version. Get it, got it, good. Now, here is the last one. Prepare yourself, it's an absolute phrase. Oh my gosh. These are modifying by the entire sentences rather than particular words within sentences. They consist of pronoun or noun phrases followed by a participle. What's a participle? So put everything you learned into one. Like, oh my God, we're done with phrases. Congratulations, you made it. But wait, there's one more step in sentence structure.
Oh, man.
There's actually 2 more steps in sentence structure.
Oh. Now we get to talk about clauses. Clauses are super fun as long as you can recognize a clause when you see one. A clause is a group of words with a subject and a predicate. There are 4 types of clauses: main, subordinate, adjective, and noun. Every main clause will follow this pattern. Subject plus verb equals complete thought. Yay for complete thoughts. Right? And remember, every sentence must contain a subject and a predicate, or it is a fragmented subject. Subordinate clause is a clause within a clause. It only functions inside of the independent clause and cannot stand alone. How unfortunate. The subordinate clause follows this pattern. Subordinate conjunction plus subject plus verb equals incomplete sentence. Subordinate clause plus main clause equals complete sentence. Repeat it with me. Subordinate clause plus main clause equals complete sentence. Yay! Now we are getting the hang of it. Now let's discuss relative clauses. Relative clauses or adjective clauses begin with a relative pronoun such as who, whom, whose, which, or that. A relative adverb such as when, where, or why. The pattern is like this. Relative pronoun or adverb plus subject plus verb equals incomplete thought. Or relative pronoun as subject plus verb equals incomplete thought. Nobody likes that. And just like subordinate clauses, relative clauses cannot stand alone and must be conjoined, like a conjoined twin, with a main clause to complete a thought. And finally, we have noun clauses. I thought you have been waiting for this, but please, please, again, hold your excitement till the end. Noun clauses replace noun phrases and subjects, objects, or complements within an independent clause. I know how cool you think this is, so I'll let Mrs. Sock Puppet Girl tell you all about it. Yay!
Any noun that functions as a noun becomes a noun clause. For example, you really do not want to know the ingredients in Uncle Buck's stew. In this sentence, ingredients is the noun. If we replace the noun ingredients with a clause, we have a noun clause. For example, you really do not want to know what Uncle Buck adds to his stew. What Uncle Buck adds to his stew is the noun clause. All right. I know you had so much fun as I did mastering clauses. Lastly, we have some really exciting material. Sentence types. I know, thrilling. There are 4 sentence types: simple, compound, complex, and compound complex sentences. A simple sentence is just an independent clause. Since you already have mastered independent clauses, you know it contains a subject and a predicate to express a complete thought. Compound sentences is 2 independent clauses joined by a coordinator. Coordinators are words or, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. You can remember this by remembering fanboys. Say it out loud. Fanboys. Great.
Fanboys!
Remember, unless it's a very short sentence, coordinators are always preceded by a comma. Now we have complex sentences. A complex sentence has an independent clause joined by 1 or more dependent clauses, and always has a subordinator, which is because, since, after, although, or when. A relative pronoun such as that, who, or which. Lastly, we have compound complex sentences. These sentence types have 2 or more independent clauses with 1 or more subordinate clauses. Now you know the basics of understanding grammar. Go ahead and give yourself a hug.